Well, hello and good morning, my friends. Good morning, my friends on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTubers and Instagram and all the things this morning. Happy July 10th. No, I didn't go live on July 4th. I was declaring freedom from Java with Jen. For those that it's your first time joining, my name's Jen, and we're drinking coffee together, which is why this is called Java with Jen, Java with Jen, Java with Jen. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, am I only a great singer? We won't even go that far. That's not true at all. My name's Jen Koken. For those that haven't met me, I'm an executive leadership coach for women in STEM and other male dominated industries because that was me for a lot of years, feeling like a fish on a field, a fish on a field, like out of place, out of whack, and not quite knowing how to be my best self because I didn't have a lot of role models about me. So every week I go live and we talk about topics that are top of mind for me, situations that I've been talking to my clients about without revealing their names, and or other topics that people specifically ask me to cover on these LinkedIn lives. And today what I want to cover is the topic of forgiveness. Um, Man, this is a thing. And I'm specifically covering this today because there's something that's been going on with me that I would guess and it's not personal to me, but it is a human experience that I think all of us have had. Now, when we're talking about forgiveness, what I want to speak about is when somebody done did you wrong. Might be your boss, might be a coworker, might be a friend, quite honestly, because we're both leaders at work and in life and the way that we are. We may think we do. We don't park one self at the door at work and have a different self at home. You may think you do, but you don't, because you're going to bring work home with you. You're going to bring personal life into work with you, even if you're feeling like you don't. You are. Okay. No bifurcation of yourself. The key, and this is one of the reasons why I always say I work with women to lead with more authority, influence, and impact, because authority is about being true to yourself, owning who you are, being authentic to who you are. You can watch my other LinkedIn lives. And in fact, I'm going to be doing a full free training on this topic in a couple weeks, and I'll put some information about that in the comments. Anyhow, so we want to be able to operate true to ourselves. Now, if we're going to operate true to ourselves, we come to this topic of forgiveness. No one's been trained about forgiveness or having a tough conversation. Business school doesn't train you, management school doesn't train you. Business school trains you to be a great business owner, an entrepreneur. Management school may show you how to manage people, but mostly from the numbers, but nobody is training you as a supervisor, as a manager, as a CEO, how to have a tough conversation. Your parents didn't train you because they were never trained. None of us got training and how to have tough conversations, or you could call them crucial conversations, critical conversations, how to hold each other accountable. We have our own stuff going on when we have an interaction with somebody that doesn't go well, which, it triggers our own stuff. And the thing that I think is super important about this is we have to remember that everybody is human and everybody's going to relate to a situation from their own perspective. Why am I talking about this? Because I had something that happened, I don't know, like a month ago, where I was at a dinner party and something happened. Many things happened over the course of the evening. I found myself triggered and I left. It was abrupt. Was it kind? Probably not. Was it rude? Yes. But at the time and in the moment, I didn't see how to handle anything any differently. I was triggered. I specifically said, I'm triggered, need to give myself a timeout and need to leave. Now, could you ever do that at work? Maybe, depending on your relationship with your boss or a coworker, you could simply say, I need a minute. Let's table this conversation. Let's talk about it later. Or it could be like some of us, we freeze when we have an experience that's unwanted, or when something doesn't go well, or when somebody um, takes ownership over a project that we had, or interrupts us, or steals our idea, or we don't feel heard. We can list a myriad of ways that a human would get triggered. So, At the dinner party, got triggered, I left. Again, would I have wanted to handle it differently? Sure. Do I know this is a trigger for me where I experience not being known or appreciated? Yes. And I'm human and I'm working on doing it better and relating to things better and being able to handle it in the moment. Um, the interesting part and why I'm bringing this up today is because the person I had that interaction with is incredibly offended. And I don't know what to do about that. I wanted to have a conversation. We travel in the same social circles. I wanted to, talk it through and see if we could save the relationship, see if we could save the friendship. Not interested in doing that. She's not interested in doing that from what I can tell, which is painful, yes, but at the same time, I wasn't happy with the behavior. Now, how many of us have had situations at work where we have not liked how our boss treated us, how a coworker treated us, how what the board said to us, what somebody else said to us? How often does that happen? Probably multiple times. And again, we're not trained how to have those conversations. Let me say two things, two books I highly recommend. I'm going to start. I was talking to my team today, and I'm going to start pulling together because I always recommend books to my clients. And often, well, it's just one client who said many years ago, "Do you have a list somewhere?" I said, "No, I don't, but I'm going to make one." So, two books I highly recommend. I don't know if you can see this. Good. It's not backwards. Crucial Accountability. Um, Tools for resolving violated expectations, broken communications, bad behavior. Man, chapter 3 in this book uh, deals with this absolutely without a doubt, and many other aspects of the book. Highly recommend that book. The other one is by a dear friend, Mary. There we go, Mary Abaget, called Managing Up, and she does training all over the country. You can hire her to speak on this topic, but she's training people how to relate to other people's humanity. And in the book, she talks about different types of bosses and strategies to interact with the bully, the micromanager, etc. I think what's key about all this and what's key about my own experience is we are all humans. We're all human. And if we can't forgive each other for having a human moment, what do we have? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, man, okay. I have a dear friend that I talk to every morning to create my day. And he is a speech pathologist and he specifically deals with stroke patients. And he specifically 90%, he told me this morning, of his day is spent on evaluating whether somebody can eat or drink or are they going to aspirate because they had a stroke. So 90% of it are what he calls in his genre swallowing evaluations. During COVID, he said he had 3 people die while he was doing the evaluation. Yesterday, he spoke to a doctor who said to him, "The family doesn't wanna give the person a feeding tube. What do we do? Because you're telling me this person can't be fed because the person couldn't open their mouth wide enough to eat, and even if they could, they would have aspirated." And Lane, he said it was okay if I used his name, said, "You're gonna have to have a conversation with the family about what the plan is." That is a life and death situation. Somebody micromanaging you, your boss, or somebody not doing a presentation up to par, or somebody taking too long. Now, on one hand, you want to learn how to hold those people accountable. The other piece is that those are human reactions to things. Humans handle things differently. Sorry, I want to turn off my phone so that doesn't happen again. I don't know if you heard it, but I could hear it. Um, we have to remember that people are human. We're freaking human, okay? And we have moments that we don't act in our best interest or somebody else. The best thing you can do, either as a boss or somebody, or because there's always this. Do you have agency in your position to say something to your boss and try to hold them to account? Well, nobody's going to give you that agency. You have to give it to yourself. Yes, if your boss you feel like is bullying you, you want to have a conversation to make sure that relationship is one that's going to empower you, remembering that your boss, I also have a piece of cat hair in my mouth, is human and never got training on how to not be that kind of a bully. All right. If you've been on a Friday tapped to be supervisor on a Monday, you've never been given training on how to hold your employees to account. And now the people you used to be friends with, oops, now you're managing them. So how the heck does someone navigate that little morass. All right. We are human beings. We are human. We want to forgive each other. And the key thing you can do in any of these situations is come from curiosity. Get curious. If I had the opportunity, I would get curious with my friend of how that interaction that we had went for her. Did she notice anything off? You know, and she's unwilling to have a conversation with me. Okay, that has nothing to do with me and has everything to do with her. Can't force her, can't force anyone to have a conversation. Now, at work, you might be able to. I was coaching somebody who was really having an issue with her manager who was cutting her out of crucial meetings she should be a part of, not giving her crucial information that she was the expert in. And she had to go to her skip level manager and then go to HR. Sometimes you've got to do that to take a stand for yourself, to stand up for yourself and show the agency you have in your position. Is it easy? No. Is it confronting for you to speak up because you were never trained by your parents to stand up for yourself? It's super confronting. I'm not saying any of this is easy at all, okay? Super lack of training. I wanna look at my other notes here. Lack of training and how to have these conversations, but it shouldn't stop you from having them. Remember, we're human. Now, you can forgive somebody's behavior. By forgiving, you're not condoning what they did, okay? I'm not saying condone feeling bullied, condone feeling looked over because you're excluded from a conversation. Stand up for yourself. Don't forget it. Forgive it because the forgiveness is for you so that you can let go of that poison and then get curious and see if there's a way to, I don't like using this word because it's everyone's using it to transform that relationship, but to shift, alter that relationship so that you have a great working relationship again. And there's a couple other points I want to make. Give me 1 second. I want to look at my doopy 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 doo. Yeah. So, number one, get curious. That is the first point. Okay. Absolutely get curious. The second point is to communicate openly. Say everything in the conversation, how it made you feel, right? We want to come from I statements. And then together, look at how you can move forward and have a better working relationship in the future. Okay. Get curious, openly communicate, focus on the future, figure out how to shift things moving forward. And again, the two books I recommend, Managing Up by Stephanie Abiget, highly recommend reading it. Phenomenal book, giving you tips about how to manage your boss. Okay. And if you're the boss, you can read this and manage your board, right? Second book, Crucial Accountability Tools for Resolving Violated Expectations, Broken Commitments, and Bad Behavior. All right. I'll put the links below in the comments. Both of these books, particularly chapter 3 in the Crucial Accountability book, talks about how to approach conversations. However, I would suggest reading it from the beginning. All right. This is Jen today. This is my rant, my Java with Jen. And tune in every Wednesday at 9:45 where I'll be going live. Next week, I think I'm going live from the beach. I don't know, but I'll see you then. Okay. I might be at the beach because I'm going to be with my family on vacay. We'll see how it goes. All right, friends. Great to be with you. Share any questions you have below, and I